I'd like to show you this story about climate change protesters blocking a highway and condemning a man to prison and then trying to raise money off of his plight. It is one of the most psychotically evil things I have ever seen. It is mind-bogglingly infuriating. The left truly is a bundle of evil, and I will say it right now, because where are the activists coming out and condemning this? Where are the leftists coming out and saying, we reject this? No. The climate change organizers would see you suffer and die, and they would sacrifice you for their vision of a better world. It's embodied no better by any circumstance than by this story. Now, I can give you another example. Greta Thunberg. That's right. She's the, how dare you? We must end fossil fuels. Not 2030, she says, not 2023, but now. If we ended fossil fuels right now, I think the estimates are that 60 million people will die. And they know, and they don't care, because they would see you suffer and they would see you die if it means their righteous indignation is achieved, is accomplished, is venerated. Their goals are more important than you, and your suffering is immaterial to their desires. I'd like to share for you this story and have a conversation with you about deontological ethics and utilitarianism. Explain to you why the left is evil, and there are certainly elements of evil on the right for sure. But again, what we're looking at right now, and when I say left and right, I'm talking about the modern colloquial tribes. Moderates, libertarians, and conservatives don't all agree. So there is an exception that evil does exist among people on the right, absolutely. But it is the rule right now that the establishment left would kill you and see you suffer, and this story embodies it. I can't tell you how infuriated I am by this. These people are evil. Beltway climate protest backfires as video of Parolee pleading he needs to get to work goes viral. A climate change protest backfired on Monday after a video clip of a parolee pleading with activists blocking the Beltway to let him pass so he could get to work went viral. One lane, I am asking one lane, said the man, who got out of his car to confront the activist sitting across the I-495 in Montgomery County, Maryland, blocking traffic. The man, who was clearly agitated and ripped the signs out of the sitting protesters' hands, claimed he was on parole and could be sent back to prison for being late to his job, which is true. The activist did not budge and could be heard saying they can't move until Biden declares a climate emergency. A clip of the man shared online by News to Share quickly gained attention online as the man pleading to get to work struck a chord. The activists, vapid, psychotic, narcissistic egotists who revel in your suffering because they want, sat there as this poor man begged, give me one lane. They could have let him through. They could have let one lane open up to make sure that those who needed to get somewhere were able to. But they don't care about you. This man begged and pleaded. He begged and pleaded. He's going to go back to prison. Just give him a lane. What's wrong with that? You've got your attention. You've blocked the highway. You've caused a traffic jam. Everybody can see you. You can open it up and let some people through. That won't undermine what you're doing. They don't care. You see, this right here, the maximizing of suffering, gives them more attention. They revel in it. You want to know how I know? Want to see the evidence that they revel in it? They revel in your suffering? After this man was arrested for begging them, please, he was arrested and carried away by the police. One of the men involved launched a fundraiser to raise $100,000 and doesn't even know who this guy is, and even went on to insult him. I'm raising funds to help him support his family and get his life in track. Please give generously. Someone said, how does this money go towards helping him when you don't even know his name? I've reported this fundraiser and encourage anyone else to report it as well. As well as get a refund for any donations. Look at this. Guido Reichstatter, however you pronounce it, trying to raise $100,000 off of the man he condemned. And he goes on to drag him. He smelled of alcohol and seemed inebriated and in distress. These people are disgusting. I've never been more disgusted, more enraged. But let this be an example. Please, show this. I beg of you. Leftist activists, climate change protesters, speak out against this, the destruction of this man's life and the attempt to profit off of it. This man destroyed this guy's life and now is trying to raise $100,000 off of it. He says, "My name is Guido Reichstatter. I'm doing this fundraiser for my friend, a man who was caught in a blockade I helped participate in. I believe he was abused by police who wrongfully arrested him for assault due to him bumping into me a few times during the blockade. I hold that this man behaved non-violently toward me and I did not feel threatened by him. And I will testify to that under oath in support of him at trial if needed. This man needs help. He smelled of alcohol and seemed inebriated." This guy Guido is now trying to get this guy charged with a DUI. From what I understand, he faces trouble with the law and has a child who depends on him. I do not know his name or any details of his history or family, but my heart was moved by his pleas. I could not comply with his request to open the blockade, but I want to do what I can to help him get his life back on track and support his child while you send him to prison. The trolley problem. You're familiar? The trolley problem, as it goes. There is a trolley headed down a track. There are 5 people on that track. You can pull the lever, diverting the trolley to a different track, saving the lives of these 5 people. But on the diverted track is a single man. You would kill him to save these 5 people. On the surface, the trolley problem seems rather simple. You can clearly see with your eyes 5 people will die. And if you pull the lever, you will be killing that one man. But there's a lot of problems with the trolley problem itself. The implication is that if 5 people are strapped to a train track and one person is strapped to a train track, there's a level of danger that everyone faces. The idea was supposed to be that by pulling the lever, you chose to kill a man to save 5. But most people I talk to about this don't see it that way. They're like, well, they're all strapped to the train tracks. The idea is that all of them are in danger regardless. So you might as well save the 5 and sacrifice the 1, right? I'll give you a better question. There is 2 children. One person's about to someone's about to shoot a child, and you can throw the other child in the way of the bullet. The idea is actually very different. The trolley problem is supposed to represent that the other person is in no danger at all. That you would place an innocent person in danger, killing them for the sake of 5. That's utilitarianism. Deontological ethics would argue you cannot take immoral actions against an individual regardless. Utilitarian thinking is the ends justify the means. I do not agree with that. In almost no circumstance would I pull the lever in the trolley problem. That's me. There's a website that asks you a bunch of questions about the trolley problem, and in any circumstance where pulling the lever would kill someone, I would not do it. There are 5 people standing in front of a train screaming, "Help us, pull the lever." And I see one person, I'll say, no, that person's not in danger. I don't know your circumstances, and I will not be the person to kill someone to save you. I'm sure there are some circumstances within nuance. This is what we're looking at right now. Here's the real problem with utilitarian thinking. These psychopaths, this Guido guy who's a narcissistic psychopath, he doesn't know that what he's doing will save anyone. He doesn't know that what he's doing would do anyone any good. So the real issue is, let me present to you the trolley problem. There are 2 tracks. On one track, a man is strapped to the tracks. On the other track, there is someone standing next to it saying, "Hey, there's a bunch of people down there. I don't know if they're on the track, but I think they might get hit." And you say, okay, I don't know what will happen if the train keeps going forward, but I can divert the train, killing a man. That's the real trolley problem we face today. These guys, like Guido, I tell you what, here's one better. Let me show you, let me give you an example of what just happened here with this story. Guido Reichstatter was looking at a trolley heading down the track and has no idea what lies ahead, but believes there may be people at some point on that track. He then looks over and sees a man sitting on the other track in no danger. And he goes, I got an idea. If I pull this lever, everyone will hear about the train being diverted, and then my cause will gain prominence. The trolley then rams into this innocent man who was minding his own business, killing him. And then Guido says, everyone, please give me money. Yo, this is evil. Let's talk about Donald Trump and his fundraiser, Steve Bannon. They were going to build the wall. So they said, give us your money, help us build the wall. And the left claimed it was a scam. They said they scammed you. They weren't actually building the wall. Well, they were. But they were giving money to one of these organizers. Yeah, okay, so what? Nobody died because of it. Look, scamming people is wrong. Parting a fool with their money, I believe, is wrong. These people, this is evil. It's just a whole new level of destroying a man's life and then trying to raise $100,000 off him, and you don't even know who he is. He says, I don't know who he is. And how are you going to give him any money? How are you going to find out who he is and help his family? Look at what he says. I am a father of 2 young children. I know the anguish of being unable to help them. In fact, the blockade that this man was caught in was an act of love in defense of my 2 children and of all of humanity. No, I'll tell you what this is. This is a narcissistic sociopath, a downright psychotic individual who wants attention. He wants you to look at him. He's really just screaming, look at me and give me money. I deserve it. Give me money. That's what he's doing. All of these people have lives. I'm in favor of nonviolent civil disobedience. This ain't it. Nonviolent civil disobedience is like, you block a roadway. But you need to be responsible for the problems and the chaos you cause. You block a roadway, you get attention. Say, okay, the police should have immediately arrested all of these people. Immediately. So you go out, you block the road, traffic stops for a few minutes, the cops come and they arrest you, and then everyone carries on. The police instead arrested the man begging and pleading to be allowed to carry on with his life. This is the danger of the left. They feel the ends justify the means. That's why you see groups like by any means necessary. Necessary to what? Let me tell you. The ends do not justify the means because you will never meet the ends. Period. Let's talk about climate change. Let's talk about authoritarianism. These people think that by destroying the life of this man, they'll win something. So, when these people get in power, how many people will they kill or sacrifice to maintain their glorious revolution? And that's what always happens with the left. They win. Venezuela, Zimbabwe, China, Soviet Union. And then how many people do they have to kill to maintain their glorious revolution? Because they're smarter than you. They're better people, right? You're a bad person. You don't matter. And that's how they live, and that's what they think. Take a look at what's happening in New York. From the Daily Wire. Women destroy New York fast food shop, send employees to hospital because extra sauce was $1.75. This is the world we're living in now. In New York City, they've gone after the police. The police are quitting en masse. Hundreds reportedly quit in the past month or whatever, or more. And they go in and they say, I want free sauce, and so they destroy the shop. The left advocates these people be released, that the police not do their jobs, that there be no order, that these people be left bloodied and beaten. But maybe not the best example. Fine. Here you go. Bodega worker in Rikers on murder charge after stabbing attacker in self-defense. This is the future they want for you. The future they want for you. A bodega worker was minding his own business when a gangbanger jumped over the counter angry at the cost of goods, and started attacking the bodega worker. The bodega worker took a knife, stabbed the man in self-defense, killing him. He's on Rikers. Rikers Island on a murder charge for self-defense. That's how it works in these places. Someone will try to kill you, and if you just try to mind your own business, they will lock you up. This is what evil looks like. Alba, 51, charged the fatal stabbing of Austin Simon, who can be seen storming behind the counter to attack the store worker. It was either him or the guy at the moment, Alba's daughter, Ulissa, told the Post Wednesday. He never hurt anybody. He's never had an altercation where he's had to defend himself. It's the first time. The 32-year-old woman claimed Alba grabbed the snack out of her daughter's hand. So she knocked over items on the counter and ran home to get Simon, who stormed into the bodega and attacked Alba about 10 minutes later. During the fight, Simon's girlfriend allegedly stabbed the worker in the shoulder with a knife she had in her purse. She is not facing charges. Alba, a dad of 3, is being charged with second-degree murder. So the worker was stabbed, defended himself against the attacker, and now he's the one in prison. They say the gal pal instigator is free, while Alba could go away for 15 to 25 years if convicted. This is how they want you to live. The prosecutors asked that Alba be held on $500,000 bail or bond. Manhattan Criminal Court Judge Eric Schumacher set the bail at $250,000, finding that he was a flight risk after prosecutors argued he had previously planned a trip back to the Dominican Republic, scheduled for next week. Prosecutors are expected to present the case to a grand jury for indictment on Thursday. Welcome to New York. This is what you get when you live in these blue areas. They will destroy your life, they will attack you, and then you will be punished. I've warned about this. I've said it was coming, and I said it will get worse. Mark my words. There was a man in Wisconsin. Black Lives Matter showed up to his house. The mob, led by a man who previously oversaw a mob that set fire twice to a home. In his home, as they were protesting outside, he brandished a shotgun. Probably shouldn't have. But in his own home, the police came, entered his house, and arrested him while BLM cheered for it. I thought they didn't like police. I thought they wanted to abolish the police. Nope, they cheered for it. They celebrated it. This is what will happen to you under the left. The utilitarians believe that it is better that 10 innocent people suffer than one guilty person escape. Actually, it's probably unfair to say that because they've released the guilty people. It's more of a racist, identitarian ideology. They'll lock up the innocent. They don't care. They will accuse you based on race. They don't care. They will destroy your life. They don't care. And then they will raise money among their friends. This guy said, Guido, my friend whose name I do not know has a tattoo on his back that reads loyalty makes family. My loyalty is to all humanity, in whose name I act in defense for all futures. Please give generously. Together we have the opportunity to help change the course of his life, just as together we have the power to change the course of our destiny and win emergency action to end the climate crisis. This man should be in prison. This man who broke the law, who is now trying to defraud people after ruining this guy's life, should be in prison. In a just society, he would be. In a just society, Guido Reichstatter would be in jail for what he did and what he is doing. He doesn't care. He literally doesn't care. He revels in it. He wants to make money off of it. He is a deeply narcissistic, psychotic individual, and this is what plagues our country. This is so many millennials with no purpose, seeking just to exploit you to profit. Grifters, as it were. It's fascinating. And then these people find stupid people to give them money. And then they go out and say, it's the other side that's bad. Yeah. The people who challenge Jussie Smollett are the bad guys. The people who believe them are the good guys? Yeah, right. They didn't believe Jussie. They didn't care. Elliot Page didn't care whether it was true or not, just knew that they could weaponize your ignorance, your anger, by lying to you and selling you snake oil, and then turn around and tell you that it is we doing the exact same thing. I'm not the one going in the middle of the street and blocking cars. I'm not the one trying to raise $100,000 off of a man whose life was just destroyed. No, I run a business, and I give you the option to buy a product. It's voluntary. Isn't it amazing? You can watch our show as we talk about things. We have one show that's just mysteries, tales from the inverted world. We have the Cast Castle comedy sketches, but they will lie to you and tell you that all we want to do is, no. I want to build culture. I want peace. I want harmony. I want respect. I want individual responsibility. These people seek to exploit and destroy for power. And that's been the case. Not everybody on the left, obviously, but it is the rule on the left and the exception on the right. On the right, you have today the colloquial tribal right, moderates, libertarians, post-liberals, and conservatives, many in disagreement. On the left, you have anyone who opposes us is against us, period. That's the reality of where we're at. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. over at youtube.com/Timcast. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.